Well, hello all my friends, it's Louie here and welcome back to my channel. I really appreciate that. Today we're going to talk about the Smok Nord and if it stands up to any of the newer salt nicotine devices that are on the market. Now, in the past I've had a very bad experience with Smok because of the mass production of their products, but we're going to see if changes have been made. So let's get right to it.
Without you, I remember myself, my name. Forgot about all you tried to change. Familiar was the sound of your voice as I continue to walk on by. It has been a year and now I'm living on the...
So now that you're back, let me elaborate on the subject of me having a very bad experience with Smok products in the past. From them mass producing some of the different devices that they have, there was a lot of problems with the 510 thread connections popping out just by simple drops. Now I know that dropping the device is user error. It is nothing to do with the company itself, but if you're producing these devices and you have this much money to make these different products, you should put a little bit more time and effort to make sure that they don't break so easily. So with that said, a lot of the internals inside of the devices were malfunctioning also. Whenever the motherboard would quit working, the batteries wouldn't read correctly because of the battery sled getting pushed in from simple drops. Just a lot of different things that I did not enjoy with using the products from Smok in the past. Now, but today is a different subject. We are talking about the Smok Nord, and the design is absolutely amazing. It looks wonderful, it feels heavy, it's not just made of plastic. It has a fire button, and it is a simplistic pod system. Now, one thing about this device that I really enjoy about the pod is that they kind of made it unique compared to any other pod system that I've ever seen. It's because you can actually change the coils inside of the pod itself. Now, whenever you buy a pod, it comes with 2 coils, or you can buy the coils separately for the pod itself. Now, we're gonna go down and take a look at this device really close up and look at that pod system, and I'll show you how the coils are inserted and removed and how to fill up and everything else with this. So let's take a look down inside. All right, so now we're down close and personal with the Nord by Smok to take a look at the pod system and what it has to offer compared to others. And like I said, this is a very unique style of pod that they've created, and I like it a lot. Here's your fill port. It has a little rubber slip that you just slide right off. And I like that it actually pretty much gets attached to the top of the tip of the pod to where it doesn't fold back down. You don't have to hold it, and then you can fill it easily. Now, it does take coils. We're going to take a look at that right now as well. So here is an empty pod that hasn't been used yet, and it is completely hollow with nothing in it. And then you have a coil just like a lot of other devices would take. That's why this is unique, because it takes its own coil. This is a 0.6 ohm, and it has its own slides to where it fits right in. You press down, and then the seals on the top of the coil clamp it on the inside. Very nice. And then you would fill it from right here and let it saturate for about 10 to 15 minutes so you get a nice and moist hit. Now, one thing I like about this pod too is that the concave, it's like an indent for your lips to set. And it feels really nice whenever you take a long drag. So that is pretty much how the pod looks, and after you fill it up, it looks like this. This is saturated completely, so we're gonna come back up to FaceTime, take a few drags, and talk about it a little bit more for you. So I hope that was enough information when we went down and personal to look at the pod for you to understand how it is filled and how the coils are inserted. Now, we're gonna take a drag and see how the flavor is and the cloud production on it as well. One more thing I'd like to say is I like how these companies are utilizing the button on the pod system device now, like some of the bigger devices, because sometimes the draw mechanism that is inside of the pod will malfunction, and then you cannot use that pod system again. With a button, it makes it much easier to get the preferred hit that you desire. Oh, it's outstanding, it really is. Now, I do want to say that compared to the Orion by Lost Vape, it doesn't match up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Smok. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. But Lost Vape is killing the game with the Orion DNA Go and the Quest right now. That is an extravagant device, and you can look at the description below if you want to see the link for them reviews as well. Let's take another drag. Oh, I ghosted all day, dog. So, good cloud reduction. 24 milligrams of salt, Vapetasia e-liquid. Right now I'm using the strawberry killer custard, which is an outstanding flavor. The flavor is, it's on point, but you can still taste the cotton on the first few hits whenever you first fill the pod, which you're gonna get that with most of the new tanks out there nowadays, unless you're using a mesh coil, which you can get mesh coils for this pod system. Extravagant feet smoke that you've provided for your customers. It's very nice. So I hope I gave you enough adequate information for you to decide if this would be the pod system for you, or you can take my advice and go for an Orion Go or a Quest as well. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please smash that like button, my friends. If you want to see future content, please subscribe. You know it means a lot to me. Make sure you ring the notification bell, because YouTube will not give you any of my new videos unless you ring that bell, and that helps me out a lot. So yeah, I'll see you next time.